Hey, big up everyone. Welcome again to the Bro Code podcast. Today we got my bros, Daniel, my bro King David, and we're here to dissect the topic of marriage. You know, a lot of guys are scared of getting married these days. Many guys desire getting married. All mixed feelings about the topic. And we decided to, put a topic before you guys dissect it, get our different opinions, and try reach consensus on how to best go about the business of marriage. So, where do we start from? When are you
She's,
getting married, David, man?
when do I want to get married? I feel like for me, pretty early. Makes sense.
Pretty early.
Yeah.
I don't. How old are you now, bro? You're getting old, but
Turning 21 this year. So I'm gonna say maybe 24. 24 will be the latest, I'd say, from what I can see.
are you in a serious relationship at the moment?
Yeah. Say pretty, yeah, 100% serious. Not pretty serious, 100% serious. Thanks. I'm going.
Are you scared? Are you scared? Should we see the video
Hey,
and
catch
upload
him
it?
on
I don't go, I don't go talk rubbish, but yeah, big. Trying to be somewhat serious, bro. 100% serious, man. In a serious
Mad,
relationship.
mad.
Been
How long
together
have you
for a
guys
year
been
now.
dating?
For a year. I think a year and some
Yeah,
months now. Yeah, not too bad.
that's nice.
What about you?
Yeah. You think a year's been enough time for you to like know the person proper?
I feel like you keep knowing someone all through. I feel like you can never fully know someone. Because even we, like, I can't say I know myself yet, because I might be a different person tomorrow. There's still a lot of learning to go, so. Yeah, just with
But,
time.
but
Time.
how about Daniel, man?
Yeah, I'm in a
You
serious relationship and 100% serious. And
100%. Are
yeah,
you saying
100%.
that because they see the videos?
Oh, 1,000% serious. I think that's better.
Is
Yeah, but I'm
it?
definitely
Yeah.
100% serious, man. Like, yeah, I think I've just got in. I'm talking 30 this year. So, but looking at this, it's nice to see like David's looking at her for making me look a bit old. But I would say like we've been like I think myself and my babe we've been together for about 6 months. I believe if we say tomorrow we get married, we can get married. But it's looking at the topic of getting to know somebody. Now, as David says, like definitely is a lifelong thing, and people even don't really get to know themselves. I mean, up until later, or they may never really get to know themselves like that. But the thing for me is how much time the people spend together, how much time is spent together, and how much communication I mean, is present there as well. Because you find some people that will say someone that's dated for a year and barely had communications or met like once or twice a week, as opposed to a couple that's living together or that see themselves every day and communicate every day. So for like 3 6 months, you'll see that those couples who are together for like 6 months definitely get to know themselves better than those that have been together for 1 2 years. So I think the time personally doesn't always uh, translate to how much
Because quality,
people know each other.
quality over quantity.
Exactly. That's it. It's perfect. Yeah.
Quality over
What
quantity.
about what about you?
That's nice.
Are you in a
Yeah.
serious
So
Me,
relationship?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in situationship.
Okay.
Situationship. Nah, like I think everybody's road is different, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real talk.
and I respect everybody's journey. And when it comes to the business of marriage, the business of relationships, yeah, I feel like it takes two to tango. Yeah,
Real talk.
there's always going to be that mutual commitment. It can't be lopsided because if it's lopsided, it's always going to be short-lived. And for me, it's like my journey through life has taught me a lot of lessons. Yeah, I've been on my age and still being single. Yeah, it's not like I've desired being single. it's just most times I feel like I believe in God, yeah. I believe like God is gonna bring you the right person at the right time. Yeah. And I know everyone's got their own opinions about it, but there are times in my life where I thought I was ready, but then there's always something that happens, yeah. Like I could be in a relationship with somebody, like very serious, like mutually committed, yeah. But at some point there's something that's gonna come up and cause a drift, yeah, cause a breakup, and then you go through the emotional pains, emotional trauma. But at that very moment when you're going through the pain, yeah, it's like it's hard to appreciate the good, the positive, yeah, because we believe like a relationship should be together forever, yeah. But most times when God has bigger plans for you, yeah, the breakups are always a setup for you to grow. And it's only when you look back in hindsight you can see like how much growth you've experienced from that relationship that didn't work out. And the way I see life is like so long as your mindset is set on growing, on maturing, and not regressing or being stagnant, any relationship you get into, you're always going to be of benefit to the partner you're with. And that's my own philosophy of life. Like people get married, people get divorced, and at this current period, yeah, in life in our generation, where divorce and breakups are almost like breakfast these days. These things happen very regularly. Yeah, I'm being forced to keep an open mind because when we look back to the times of our parents here, when they could be in 40-year long relationships, you know, when to death was passed really meant more than just words here. Those are times I actually envy. But right now, it's not really the thing because people have less interest in sacrificing. And for me, it's like the key thing is sacrifice. By nature, I believe I'm someone who is ready for the worst here. And when I say ready for the worst, I don't mean that in a bad sense here. I mean committed to the fullest. But at the same time, it's like you could be in a relationship with someone who isn't equally yoked. Yeah. And that term is something I picked from like the Bible. If you're in a relationship, not just in a marriage, for instance, marriage situation, for instance, now you're in a partnership with someone who is not equally yoked with you, who doesn't share the same vision as you, who doesn't have the same commitment level as you, the same sort of like I don't want to say culture because now we're talking diversity a lot here, but if you guys don't see eye to eye on at least the majority of things here, that is always gonna mark the beginning of the end of whatever relationship or transaction you are working on or dealing with. So for me, it's like we've come a long way, and we're in a generation now where marriage is a always carries a big question mark. Yeah, and if you're not ready for it, for me, my opinion is like don't even.
Why would you
I don't
say
say
that?
don't attempt it.
When will you even know? So when do you know you're ready for marriage? In your opinion?
When you do know you're ready for marriage, it's like I feel like it's when you meet, when you. I don't know. To be honest, that question
Wait, let's
But let
see.
me ask.
asked.
I
Wait.
feel like
Because sorry, Kim.
no, no problem,
I
no problem.
appreciate the fact that you're single. You know what you want. That's the main thing. But what's the longest relationship you've had?
Longest relationship I had was like
Yeah.
someone asked me that question. Yeah, it was like a year plus. It
Sorry.
was like a year plus. But then again, it's like I remember I recall in that relationship it was quite serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing that really became an issue was the fact that we weren't from the same cultural background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I started having. Well, that was when I first learned the lesson about being equally yoked. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you might love somebody, but the fact that culture could be a thing or reason why a relationship doesn't work makes you beg the question. It's like, how far are you willing to go for somebody? Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about a relationship now, yeah, like,
Mm.
and I say I'm committed 100%. How committed is the other person? Yeah,
Yeah.
if
It
your
takes two.
parents come tomorrow and say they don't like your partner, is that going to be a reason for you to call it off? If your parents or your friends maybe mention the fact that you guys don't share the same religious perspective, is that going to be a reason for you to call it off? Yeah. So a lot of these questions, yeah, always come up. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, yeah, everyone has their own motives for being in relationships. And not just the motives now, yeah, we're talking about the gender dynamics when it comes to relationships as well. Like, we're all guys here, we're all men.
Yeah.
When men approach relationships, we approach it from a very different perspective. And I always say, yeah, men love based on principle, women love based on emotion. Yeah. And that's
Word.
why I've been everyone's talking about like research being conducted, and they talk about how majority of women walk away from marriages. So divorce, I think 80% of divorces are initiated by women, which goes to back this reality. And if you understand what I mean by men love based on principle, yeah, it's just a standard thing. This loyalty for men is, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to sound misogynist or anything here, but when
Nah,
I
but,
talk about my
but,
guys,
but one thing,
yeah,
I mean, looking at the stats of 70% of divorces are
80%, bro.
either women. Oh yeah, but I think I saw a video on I forgot what platform it was, where this guy's a divorce lawyer, and he also hinted like
Yeah,
many of those divorces are also due to the men not pulling their weight in marriage. You see marriages where, say, the woman is the sole provider, she's still the one to bear the kids, to look after the kids, still expected to carry the traditional roles as well. You know,
yeah,
now you have a case where you look at the past and how traditional marriage was in the past and what is going on right now,
yeah,
and you can see back in the days things like, say, a woman has been abused, say, physically abuse or even emotional abuse. These things were not really highlighted as issues, so ladies had
yeah,
to persevere through marriage. I would call that long lasting marriage. But today, where issues with mental health are more out in the open,
yeah.
tolerating certain types of abuse is not the mainstay today.
No, but the
So
abuse is not the status quo of the relationships we're talking about now. It's
well,
like,
it takes
bro,
two to tango, you said now.
it takes two to tango, yeah.
Yeah,
But in the end, it's like a relationship, yeah.
yeah,
It's a ship. It's a ship that's themed by relation. You have to relate. The
facts.
relation
Yeah,
in the relationship, there's a sailor, yeah. There's a captain. Everybody knows their role,
yeah,
and the ship is heading for a destination. You
yeah,
have a common goal, yeah.
yeah.
If the parties aren't clear on the gender roles, there's bound to be problems. Yeah, we live in a society now where everyone is shouting equality, 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 equality. Yeah, but you as a man know for a fact that if push comes to shove, yeah, you are with a woman, for instance, now
Yeah,
you're approached, you're in a situation of danger.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe someone pulls out a gun and
mm,
is gonna shoot you, and you
yeah,
have that opportunity to react first. Yeah, as a guy, bro, by default, we know our role. Sometimes I say men are dispensable. Yeah, we see ourselves as being dispensable for the greater good of humanity, bro, for the greater good of our people, for the greater good of the people we see ourselves as leaders
yeah,
for.
true, true, true.
Yeah, bro. I'm not even. You're my bro. Yeah, you're my
Yeah,
bro. David is my brother. Yeah, I'm not trying to play on this being a firstborn or anything, but being a firstborn is comes with responsibilities. Yeah, and
facts.
the things I would do just by reason of the position God has put me in. Yeah, the
Yeah,
same way being a man is the position God has put you in, bro. These things
facts.
come by default, and in a world where we're trying to alter the default position or default nature of human beings here, we're always gonna face problems. When I'm in a relationship with someone, yeah, I see myself as a leader. Yeah, if the woman doesn't see me as a leader yet, then she has to be with someone else, bro. Yeah, because I'm building myself to be the best version of myself so I can be competent in a relationship. If a woman doesn't see me as competent, yeah, she has to be with someone else who she views as competent and able to lead her, bro. That's how I see my life, man. And for me, it's like being a man. If anyone is gonna take that from you, what do you have left to live for? You're gonna give birth to children. Who is gonna lead your children, bro? who is dictating the trajectory of their lives, yeah, who is narrating how their lives play out, yeah, who's going to be there to make the sacrifices that's needed to be made to ensure that they grow up to be the people you want them to be and God wants them to be. And this for me is the hierarchy, yeah. The man has his eyes on God, yeah. The woman has her eyes on the man. The children have their eyes on the woman. And that's why for me it's like when I'm choosing a woman, I'm not choosing a woman just for myself. More importantly, I'm choosing a woman for my children. Because in terms of the relationship, women have a lot more time to bond with children than the man does. And if you're a man on your mission, you're out there trying to hustle and make the bread most of the time, while your woman should naturally be nurturing your kids. It's in today's world where we're trying to change all of that. Yeah, we come from Africa, like, and we know how things happen back home. Now we're in the West where things happen a lot different. And in the end, it's all this, bro. This whole thing is deep. Yeah. The more I talk, yeah, I feel like I'm starting to sound like a misogynist, but I feel like there are roles in life. There are roles in life, and everybody needs to know their role and learn to play it well. I understand what you talk, what you say about men abusing privilege sometimes, yeah, but I don't believe it's the norm. I do not believe it's the norm. I do not believe it's the norm. A responsible man is not going to be out there abusing his wife or abusing his kids. That's not how life works. A responsible man, by even considering what responsible means, is someone who is doing their best to be there and ensure they're providing and protecting their people, the people they claim they lead. Yeah.
I feel like we can't even
Why is
use
David
like.
quiet, man?
Oh
Eh?
no no
No,
no.
you just talking.
I feel like we can't even use like statistics to generalize things. I feel like all we can do, or the best we can do here is. I feel like the best we can do here is to kind of like just say or use responsible men. We can talk based on like actual normal human beings. Because I feel like for a man, no actual man in his right sense is meant to do things like that, like abuse a woman or things like that. If you know what I'm saying. But then with the whole gender role thing, what needs to happen is we need to show appreciation for the roles that women have. If you know what I'm saying. Like how I think women see it is the things or the roles that they're meant to have in a family are seen as lesser. But I feel like it's all equal at the end of the day. If you look at a ship, as you said, right? On the ship, there's a captain, there's a cook, there's a whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there's a whole crew. Each person answers to the captain. But without each person, the whole ship cannot function correctly. So at the end of the day, they're as important as the other. Now, a man has his roles in the relationship, but I feel like just because of the way things are, everyone sees those roles as more important than what a woman would do.
Yeah.
A man protecting, providing, as far as I'm concerned, is equal to a woman taking care of the family and all of that. And I feel like the moment women are able to actually take pride in those things, that is when things will be better. Yeah, they by default just see these things as lesser.
I'm not gay, yeah, but if I was a woman, yeah, I'd be the best woman I could be, bro. I'm not even lying, like, bro. I would love. I'm not even lying, like the same way I keep talking about wanting to be a man and being like a provider and protector, bro. I'll be one. I would love to be a woman that would nurture my kids. I want to have as many children as possible. I want to love my husband because like it's like a lot of women are out of sync with their nature, and that's something I'm really observing. A lot of women, it's almost like they are discontent with the nature God has given them, and they're trying to be like men. Yeah, it's like a man now. Yeah, a man isn't satisfied with his nature. You want to be like a lion because a lion is stronger. A lion eats this, that. Bro, that's not what God has made you. God has put you in this vessel for a reason, and it's for you to understand this vessel, understand the manufacturer's reasons for equipping you with maybe breasts, your ovaries, your hormones that make you tick as a woman, and work with that nature to be the best version of a female. Yeah, and once people go back to this foundation, yeah, things like marriage become easy. Like,
But
see.
but you know that firstly, like marriage, the term marriage actually, or the idea of marriage, varies across different demographics. You know,
Yeah,
the way marriage is viewed in Africa isn't the same way it's viewed in, say, the Middle East. Even within Africa itself, go to different countries. I think I've got in this country that borders South Africa. Polygamy is normal in those countries, in that country. In other countries,
yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is it varies. And as the idea of marriage, the concept of marriage
No, but it
varies.
does.
As not,
Why you say
both
polygamy
Asia,
varies, bro?
Far East
Polygamy is
Asia.
normal.
Eh? Polygamy is normal.
Polygamy is normal,
Oh,
bro, bro.
don't worry, we'll get to that. Yeah, it's normal based on the society. You understand? It's been a society. And based on those societies, marriages are you get to places where it's the women that go out to work. Even within Nigeria. Yeah, it's the women that go out to hustle. Go to Ukraine. I was in Ukraine. In Ukraine, the men are there's this idea of the men are the lazy ones. The women hustle and work. You know, so there you have the one going to hustle and work, coming back home.
Yeah.
We'll still cook, we'll still feed the kids, take care of the kids. So in that kind of sense, we can't really generalize and say,
Bro,
oh,
but
a
can I
man's
just say
role
this?
is because one thing is this: a man cannot be a child. All right,
So,
a woman,
by nature,
a woman
what we have
can
to
be
do
a
is
child.
bro.
A man can never be a child. So a man can never be in a place of taking a woman's role. But a woman can
So,
take the role of a man. You know, the
nah,
only
what you
thing we
saying,
can
bro?
wait, the only thing we can really say, I mean, not being absolute. When I say the role of a man, I mean the traditional idea roles as to providing, you know, even protecting to a certain degree.
No,
Now,
stop this, Daniel, bro.
no, 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 no,
Nah,
no,
bro,
no,
see,
no, no, no,
this
no. What
thing
I'm
you say
saying,
about yeah, this thing
now
you're
I'm
saying
saying,
about women working, for instance. Now, let's
yeah,
look at the animal kingdom. Let's look at a pride of lions here.
yeah,
In the pride of lions, amongst the pride of lions here, it's natural. They say the women do the hunting most times.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to taking down the bigger beasts, that's where you see the male lion now come into full.
We can also
When
look at the hyenas. Let's look at the spotted hyenas.
even
The female spotted
even
hyenas even have penises. Did you know that?
see, no, see, bro, we're looking at the nexus now. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
compare myself to a biological form that's way distant from my form. Yeah, the lion is closer to my form.
yeah,
And as a man, we know that the male human
yeah,
species, are built stronger than the women. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why in a time of war, we're not scouting women to go and fight. We're scouting men to go and fight. That is simple biology. In times of war, all of these conversations
Fact, 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 fact.
they're not even nothing here. In a time of war, everybody knows their place. The women know that they are going to be healing the men that have gone out there to die because
Wait,
as a
wait,
man,
wait. To challenge that statement, yeah. As I say, it still depends on the location. You go to Israel. In Israel,
there's no
be you a
location, bro.
woman. In Israel, be you a
See,
woman or a man. You're gonna do what's the
you do
name?
your service, yeah. I
Service,
understand what you're
basic
saying,
service.
bro. I understand what you're saying, but regardless of how you want to be equal, yeah, if you
Yeah,
pit a military, an army that's made up of men against an
yeah.
army that's made up of women, the men are going to obliterate the women. And I'm not even
True.
trying to
Fact,
be,
no, no,
it's
true.
just a
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
of
I,
life.
I agree.
Why is
That
it
is how
that
it.
why is it that whenever we're talking about like women taking the roles of men, it's always providing that we focused on? So is the main thing
Yeah.
like just is the main thing just a woman working? Is that what we're talking about here? Like I'd like to know.
Anybody can work, bro.
Exactly.
God has
So
given
Everybody
I
can
feel
work
like
exactly.
working or providing is one thing that I feel like should 100% be a partnership. If you know what I'm saying. I feel like
Just, bro.
no man
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
expected to 100% provide for the family. I feel like a woman should also provide. So yeah, have your career, have your job, work and everything, but I feel like that should never distract any of the genders from knowing what their
But
actual roles are, if you know what I'm saying. You go to
exactly,
work, you come back as a man, you're working, right? So now we've put it that providing is a partnership. You work, you go back home. You're still expected to carry out your roles as a man. You're meant to protect.
But the problem
If
now
something
is
happens, you
when
do.
these
Exactly.
the
But for
problem
the
now is when
woman,
these
for the
roles.
woman, I feel like what they're doing is like not every woman at the end of the day, right? Providing is the only thing. I feel like making a career, having money, and all of that is the main thing. Which as far as I'm concerned, is not right. If a man was to make money and all that and forget every single role that he had as a man, it won't make any sense. As a woman, I feel like you provide, you have your career, you provide to the family, you join incomes and all of that. But still, there's things that you're just better suited at. Like, bro, you can't
Someone
expect
said something.
me to be the sole person in charge of like raising my kids and all of that. When I feel like a woman is better suited for that.
Bro, statistics is what we're talking about now. Someone said that when men make money, they think about their children, they think about their wives. When women make money, yeah, they're thinking about how the money can make them independent of men.
No,
Yeah.
that's an absolute statement, which is not
It
true.
is. It is.
It's not an absolute statement. Yeah. In this
It's
world
not
today,
everyone
yeah,
that's like that.
especially when you're talking about how women have been subject of abuse over the years. A lot of women now are making money to be independent from men, bro. And I've been in so many situations where women are thinking this way. These days, women want, bro. This reality, yeah, is something I'm experiencing because I'm in the dating market, bro. I'm not even
I think it's okay to use to make something absolute when it's the majority, right? Like with the whole abuse thing. If it's a majority, then yeah, we can make it absolute. So if what he's saying is majority, then it can definitely be absolute.
But based on what's
it's
that?
like when they say single households, yeah, where women are single mothers, for instance. Now the kids are likely to end up in jail and lead nefarious lives. When there's a man in the picture, they live more balanced lives, more healthy lives. That is statistics, bro. Yeah,
but that's more in the absence of the man, not where the wife or the woman earns more.
it's not. That's not my point. Now is the reason why if you have a man who's thinking like a woman, the result will be the same thing. But you have a man who's acting like a man.
If you have a man who thinks like a woman in the house, that means the woman takes the male role. So if he actually thinks like a woman, that means he's able to raise the kids.
That's an if.
That's correct.
If a woman that marries a man with strong feminine energy, or that doesn't know his purpose or role as a man, yeah, is going to result in that outcome, yeah. But if you're talking about a woman who has like masculine energy and the man has sort of the feminine energy, there's that balance. But it's not always going to play out that way.
Nah, but even if you're looking, I know you see a lot of stats when it comes to men not being at home. What role do you think is missing? I mean, what's that ingredient missing in the absence of the man?
Let me say that.
Yeah, what's that?
The role that's missing here is the yin and the yang. Yeah, this is life philosophy. The balance, judgment, and mercy. Yeah, the moment any of this is off, yeah, you're already going the wrong way. Men come with the judgment, women come with the mercy. When you study the human biology, it's the same thing. Oxytocin, high levels of oxytocin in women, of estrogen in women, high levels of testosterone in men, cortisol in men, just because of the nature of engagements and activities we as individuals are engaged in. Yeah. And when you're dealing with children as well, discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is a judgment energy. And there are no better form of humans than men to initiate this act of discipline. Yeah. Women, on the other hand, are more loving, are more merciful, are more nurturing. That's a different energy. And when you are too loving, when you're too nurturing, and you fail to bring that balance of judgment, yeah, you're going to end up creating a child that doesn't know limits, that has no sense of discipline. And that's where the men come in. And that's why people that don't have a sense of discipline would think that they can abuse society, they can break rules, and that's why they end up in jail. Yeah, that's the reason for this statistics of single parent homes led by women have children that end up in jail. But when you have a man that's able to discipline the kids, bro, we grew up together, man. Why people acting like we didn't grow up together?
Oh, no.
Now the thing for me, You
What was
correct.
our look at our mom and our dad, bro? Who was the loving person? Who was the person that was always giving us flogs?
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
But
it's
actually,
that's
bro.
who would
But,
you say? Who
I
would you
just
but the
say?
thing is, the thing is, it still depends on personalities. You understand? When it comes to kids, it depends on personalities. I believe a child who's going to go to jail, whether the dad is there or not, will still go to jail
no, but they are
because his
deterrents. They are
personality is
deterrents,
dope.
bro. They are deterrents. They're deterrents. If
Yeah,
you're
deterrence.
talking about
You're correct though. You're correct though. You're correct though.
deterrence is where the discipline comes in now. If you're in an environment where you know that there's nobody who's going to be there to set you right, if you abuse privilege or you do more than you're supposed to do, yeah, you're always going to end up doing whatever you want. But when you know that there's somebody there who's going to set you right, that's going to put you in your place here, you're more likely to do the right thing. And even if you're looking at psychology, there's this guy called FB Skinner. FB Skinner did the same research where you can sort of condition someone's behavior based on a reward mechanism. Yeah.
Mm.
And if we're relating reward to the feminine masculine nature, yeah, if you're rewarding somebody too much without showing them the impact of taking too much risk here, they would end up taking behaviors that are unreasonable.
Yeah.
But when they know that there's a repercussion for their actions, yeah, they're more likely to act with reason. And that's what that's the importance of having a man in a home. The same way where if you have a woman absent, yeah, the sense
Yeah.
of community, the sense of being loving, the
Yeah.
sense of having emotional balance will be missing. And then you would have somebody like a Hitler, where the person
Mm.
just wants to be strict, authoritarian, dictatorial in nature. So that's where that balance has to come in.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Exactly.
it's like, do you want to have chaos or do you want to have order? Order comes with discipline. Chaos comes with too much freedom. That is my point.
So
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still important to appreciate. And I think we've been able to see the importance of
both,
of
exactly,
both
exactly.
players.
Just
It's
like when you
important
put
to
it one way, it's a bit strict.
yeah, it's important to have
They're
both players. And
both
the thing is,
important.
the roles as well, as you said, is like it's very important not to exalt the importance of one party
One, yeah.
above the other because you're now looking
Mm.
at different times. Different times, you look at how things were many years ago. Is not the society is today. If you see, I think there was a video watch. This guy was talking about you know current situations as to how it's quite difficult for there to be. It's really tough right now for there to be just one provider in the house. I know every guy, especially, I mean, say you're coming from, I mean, a proper, background. Like every guy, every real man has a default of I'm the sole provider. You understand? That's what you aim for. But you have a case where if a guy that has that mindset of you have your role is in the house, take care of the kids, I'll provide. And things were good initially. What happens if things now become bad? And
Yeah.
she has to now take the lead.
But Daniel, see, the reason why I said lion now, me,
Mm.
I see myself as a lion, bro. And me, I want to have my pride. If you have a pride of lions here, the women are always active, yeah? And they're
Yeah,
always active because of the community, for the good of the community. There's nobody that's selfish in a pride. Yeah.
yeah,
If
yeah,
there is lack, they go out to hunt. Yeah. When the man sees that these people are not able to bring food, yeah, he will stand up and lead the charge. And this is what a relationship is. Whether you are polygamous or monogamous here. As a man, I don't want to stress my wife because I know by my nature God has given me more energy than her. Yeah. She can conserve that energy and utilize the energy to take care of the home while I use my energy to do more strenuous activity. Yeah. And that's why even when it comes to careers, when men and women are choosing careers, we see men doing the more strenuous tasks. The plumbers, the mechanics, the UFC guys, majority of these people are men. Why? Because these are things biology has prepped us for. But when it comes to the more emotionally inclined jobs here, like medicine, nursing, even the more communicative roles, see customer care. Yeah, these are roles that are more suited for women, and it all ties down to biology. They did a research on Nordic countries, yeah, and initially the research was basically trying to like weigh um, weigh the choices women would make if they had complete freedom to choose their career paths. They observed that women, after a while, still went back to doing these roles I made mention of, even though they had complete access to becoming engineers, becoming soldiers, becoming whatever they wanted to be. And that's the reality.
Would you want a stay-at-home wife or a housewife? Would you want that?
Bro, if God bless me with the money, yeah, to be
But that's the
there
thing. That's the
with my
thing now.
family as I needed to be. You're
Not
asking me what I'll prefer now. I'll prefer a woman who can be not I don't want to say stay at home yet because if staying at home sounds like being in prison.
oh
I want a
yeah,
woman that can be who she wants to be, yeah, but commits more time to nurturing children.
the
Because
family.
in the end, when we talk about children, we're not talking about an entity that's insignificant. These are the people who will become the leaders of tomorrow. Yeah, these are the future. And someone who's committed to ensure that these people are groomed to take in on roles in society that will better society. Yeah, that's a woman I want.
But then if we were being like realistic based on times now, as Daniel said, right? I feel like every man, it's literally in the nature of man to want to provide, right? But based on the times that we're in, I feel like it's not realistic. Not every man would be able to do that. To be able to
Bro,
live comfortably.
bro,
Bro, me, like, I'm on the same page with you. I would definitely want to be able to provide solely, literally solely. That's what I want. But then if I'm not able to do that, right? Would I then allow everyone be collecting my minimum wage in the family and
now, but
suffering with
now,
me?
now,
Now,
yeah,
if a
you're
woman
looking
can
from
help,
one
then she
angle
can.
now.
Yeah,
You're
but at the
looking
end of the
from
day,
one
we
angle
have to
now.
look at it from extremes. There's literally no midpoint. There's no
David,
midpoint.
David, how did I start this conversation? I said men love based on principle, women love based on emotion.
Yeah,
As a man, you have that default setting to want to be a provider.
yeah.
Yeah. A woman looks out for the interest of herself. And when I say look out for the interest of herself, yeah, in what do they call it now? In social context, they call it hypergamy. Yeah. Women would leave the broke guy because of this reason of wanting the best for themselves. But a man will try to find a way to work out the
But that's a
relationship
very
until
extreme thing to say too. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
very
it's
because
not
extreme
wait,
thing
extreme.
to say.
no, no,
Listen,
no. The thing is this, yeah. The thing is this.
uh,
From what I've observed here, most of
yeah.
this narrative is usually due to observations made on the current, this fresh generation
No,
coming up.
it's not, bro. Like
Because
me, bro.
because
I
if
could
you
fall
look
in
back
love
in the
with,
days,
bro, me, I can
it
marry.
wasn't really so.
What,
It wasn't really so. You
when
had
I'm thinking of
proper
marriage,
traditional.
bro, Daniel, when I'm thinking of marriage, yeah, when I'm thinking of marriage, I'm not thinking about marrying a wealthy woman. I'm not thinking about marrying a woman that's, I'm looking at basic things. Are you beautiful? Are you feminine? These are the kind of traits I'm looking at, bro. When a woman is looking at you, she's looking at six figure, she's looking at six pack, she's looking at all of these things.
Now
We're
the
not
thing
wired the same.
is mostly ladies of this generation that you can generalize on. You know, I mean,
Bro, Daniel, and I'm not, see,
that's
Even
you,
that, even that, Daniel, I feel
you're
like
talking
is
like
very extreme to say.
yeah, because
no,
when you
you're
say
seeing it like
women
I'm
are
seeing it
such
from a
ways,
bad,
you got
Wait.
individuals.
You're saying you're talking like I'm seeing it from a bad perspective here, but in the end, yeah, if you look at the advantage of women having this perspective here, is to ensure that they're choosing the best man, yeah, that would bring about the best outcome for their children. Because if a woman marries a guy that has six packs here, she's marrying a guy that has the genetic strength. Yeah. If she marries a man that has six figures, she's marrying a man that has the financial security, not just for her, but for her children. That is the wisdom. I'm not saying it from a bad perspective, but at the same time, yeah, these things affect us as men. Because when I'm with a woman, do I want a woman who's with me, ride or die, or a woman that's seeking these biological desires? Nah, this is my
But
point.
yeah,
The advantages to
even
thinking
for
that way. The advantage is to thinking that way, but at the same time, it's like it's a very selfish way of thinking. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the thing is this, yeah, you don't. I, I think in the sense of extreme, I would say, for instance, now, rather than say, I'll say most women are looking for a guy who has at least a stable future or signs of a stable future. I wouldn't say they're necessarily looking for a dude with six packs and a dude with six figures. You
Now, the
understand?
women
Yeah,
have
it's the
choices.
same. Yeah,
You know what, Daniel? I
Women
feel
have
like
choices,
if
bro.
we take it like literally, then we'll just keep going against each other.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
definitely agree, right?
Agree.
As I
Yeah,
said, majority is the general. That's just what it is. So I'd
yeah.
actually agree with you. I feel like even as a man, right? If you have a daughter and she's to get
Of course,
married, you want
mm-hmm.
to know that yeah, that man is
Can take care of
capable.
her. Yeah.
Um,
So
It's true.
I definitely agree
only,
with
only,
that.
only the
I
Lord,
agree with that.
only the Lord could have revealed that to you.
I agree
No,
with
it's
that.
true. It's facts now.
I
It's
don't
facts
want
now.
my
It's
daughter to
facts.
go and
Yo,
marry a
yo,
broke guy.
like Daniel, exactly. If our parents are marrying us out right now,
Yeah,
they're not looking for a woman who's rich. That's just the truth of
yeah.
it.
It's true. It's
Or
true. What?
look for
Yeah,
a woman who can cook. I'm guessing a woman who is good with
yeah,
kids and just all of that. So yeah, I
yeah.
agree with it. But then again, Paul, I feel like the main thing is just the generalization. Like you can't just
This
go extreme
generalization,
and say
bro.
all women. I feel like a good amount, like most, a good number. I'll live with
It's
that.
like saying
It- it-
it's like saying all men cheat or all men are polygamous. That's not true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even
no, no, bro.
let's
In
say
the end, yeah.
80% of men cheat. We can't say all
See,
men cheat.
we can agree with that.
No, no, but they say now there's a trend they're talking about now about how
Yeah.
like most women have higher access to men. Men have access to women. Yeah. Why? Because
Your mic
if
cut
you're a
out. Your
guy
mic cut
who
out.
doesn't have
Yeah. You froze. Can you come?
yeah,
Just
Can you
start
come
again.
again?
yeah. So there's a conversation going around that most women have more access to men than men have access to women. Why? Because they say the top 20% of men have access to 80% of women. Because once you become something in life, yeah, once you have the money, you have the looks, you have the power, bro, you get all the women. And that is the reality of life. When I'm talking about women, I don't talk about women to broke niggas. I don't talk about women to ugly niggas. I don't talk about women to people that don't have access to women. Yeah. I talk about women to men who have women. Because we can't relate, bro. And I'm just speaking from a very honest perspective, guy. A guy that is single, so a guy that is loyal to his woman because he doesn't have options, is different from a guy that is loyal to his woman even though he has options, bro. Those are two very different kinds of people, bro. And when you understand life from this perspective, yeah, you appreciate the fact that when you're coming from this perspective of generalizing, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very real thing. When I say women love based on emotion, bro, these emotions are fantasies, they're imaginations, they're the desires they want for themselves. This fairy tale lifestyle is women that come about this reality. Romance is a woman's creation, bro. Us men, we're very real about life, bro. We know we came to this life to suffer. We know we came to this life to struggle. We're not thinking of, bro. We're not thinking of Barney and friends. We're not thinking of little fairies, bro. We're thinking of war. We're thinking of military lifestyle, bro. That's the difference between men and women. And when we're thinking of, nah, bro, this thing is deep, man. I don't want to be sounding like you people are making me sound like a misogynist, man.
No.
No. I think you're very like all the points you made are a fact. But I'm still looking at the fact that men, these are defaults for men. As you said, everything they're defaults for men. The society itself doesn't really favor men in the sense that we are expected to provide. We're expected there are certain expectations of men, which requires us to really push ourselves and do, how I put it, like just as you said, we come to suffer, whatever. But you still see a slightly where um, women, or a good number of women, or a good proportion of women, are still subtly transformed or made to adopt a masculine thing about them, in the sense that, like, well, how can I phrase it now? A woman who's divorced, for instance, based on whatever reason, she's fought and has got kids. She's got a requirement. She's forced to take the role of both the mother and the father as well. You understand? So you have, based on that statistics you've given, of 70% of women, whatever, and I believe divorce rates are going high. So you have a society where women are kind of made to take that male role. And it's where you still get the problem of, or the issue of, equality, for instance, which doesn't make absolute sense when it comes to things like women wanting to match up men with things like cheating, promiscuity, but you've got certain things of roles, women taking male roles. In that sense, I think equality makes some sense because they are forced. Yeah, they're forced.
I don't think that roles have anything to do with equality. I really don't think it has anything. I feel like that's where people get things wrong. I feel like a man and a woman cannot have the same roles, especially when they're in a partnership. If you're on your own, you can definitely try to do the things that men do, or as a man, you
Yeah,
can do the things that women do. But I feel like once you come together in that partnership, there's literally no way these things can be together. A man does what he's meant to do, a woman does what she's meant to do. And that literally doesn't have any play on equality. Once you start looking at it that way, then it seems like equality cannot be attained. Like in a
You can't even
relationship,
have a strong relationship.
yeah, I think in a relationship, right, a man and a woman are together on top. Simple. Like
as
they're
long as that
both
respect is there, as long as that
exactly. They're
respect is there,
together.
bro.
No matter
As long
what
as the
they
woman
do.
respects you, bro, that's the main thing, man.
Exactly.
If you're saying that, oh, you dropping from those roles,
Yeah.
it's gonna cost your respect from the woman, then that's an issue. But as long as the woman respects you, bro,
100%. Yes.
bro.
So
Once you lose that respect, that's it, bro. No
the
matter what,
submission the
whether you're
submission part of it is
providing,
there.
whether you're protecting, whether you're doing any shit, once the respect is gone,
It's
that's it.
there.
It's why you find ladies. I think there's this thing I watched, this relationship testing. This one I watched recently. This guy has been providing for this lady here. I mean, pays for her car. I mean, the test, during the test, yeah. I think he had asked her, "Oh, do you need a new car?" And she was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get you a Porsche." He's providing everything. He's a six-figure earner. This other guy who came through that had just a bit more money, she went for that guy. You understand? Not all ladies are like that. I mean, I think these are the select from this generation kind of babes.
But as you
But the
said,
thing
it's
is,
the respect thing.
no matter how you're able to fulfill that role of love, respect, whatever, once that respect is gone, that's it, man.
Yeah.
So even you being able to attain those traditional roles does not secure your place in marriage.
But then I feel
So
like
that's
I
the
feel like
thing.
respect itself should only grow. I was watching something yesterday, right? It was an Andrew Tate video again, right? He said there's no reason why you should be with a person you don't respect. The moment you decide to get into a relationship with someone, there should be respect there, if you know what I'm saying. But now the issue
But
is these women that you're talking about, right? Like a woman that ends up not respecting the husband or her boyfriend or whatever, right? They have their own reasons to me for being in the relationship. Because why exactly are you with a person that you don't respect or you could potentially lose respect for?
Yeah,
When you look at a person, I feel like from face value, you should know, is this a person I can respect? Because, bro,
yeah,
at the end of the day, you're going to trust this person with your life at the end of the day, the life
yeah.
of your children. So, why can't you respect that person at that moment if you don't have ulterior motives? If you know what I'm saying. So, yeah,
Exactly. One other thing bringing up now is you're looking at, okay, men, you're looking at provision, whatever. Women, you're looking at how they can take care of kids. One other thing we remove from it is how can she be loyal? How can she be faithful? Now, let's say you have a lady now, you get into marriage, or you're all this bossy guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's there. And yeah, she's in, you've got the money and everything. She's in for the money. You want kids, yeah? She starts sleeping with this pizza guy. She sleeps with two pizza delivery guys. Gives you kids. You raise those kids for
Bruh.
bro.
But
See,
yeah,
the,
as
lo-
best
the
as say
loyalty,
equality.
the loyalty part of it, I feel like this is just very important. Me personally, right? I feel like I'd rather have a person break up with me than
Yeah.
cheat, if you know what I'm saying. Like, just break up. It's as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. What is the point of that?
That's standard.
Yeah,
That's
the moment you decide to be in a relationship with someone, no one is forcing you, bro.
Yeah.
When you make that commitment, I feel like it's just the least you can do as a human being. I don't think loyalty should be a topic when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a
100%.
given.
Yeah.
But in the world of today, man, in the world of today, it has to
Bro,
be
it's
something.
crazy, man. I'm telling you, shit is crazy. But
That's what I was saying. Like, so if you're thinking of getting married in this generation, yeah, you really need to think 100 times. Like, and these issues like respect, loyalty, even understanding the fact that like everybody has their own roles to play, and the nature of the roles do not make you any better than the other person.
Yeah.
It's something that just has to be appreciated by both parties
Exactly.
equally for good relationships to work.
Yeah.
Just it's a lot, man. It's a lot to consider if you're thinking of getting married. There's so much.
Yeah. You
But
talk,
I'm happy for my married my relationship people.
Speaking on Andrew Tate, everyone here, have you all seen anything on him?
bro, man, that guy, man,
Guys,
that guy. I think
I rate the guy. Like, but I mean, everyone has their own opinions. But I
The G.
take the good and I leave.
yeah.
Exactly.
The thing with social media nowadays is I've got to see it's exposed the fact that maybe about 80 to 90% of people don't have sense, man. Like you listen to a video, and many people are unable to separate, say, the emotional background music and all the ambience and everything. Because you realize that, say, you have a video of Andrew Tate or his brother, and you realize that, say, 40% of the things he said actually make sense, but the remaining 60% don't make sense. Because when you have people trying to be so absolute about things, then there should be question marks there.
It's like once anything
Most of the
is
videos is like,
wrong,
yo,
and
don't
you
people
leave
don't
it
understand.
there. The moment something becomes
If your wife
extreme,
wants to
like
it's wrong.
70% of what he says makes sense.
No. I feel like
No. I'll say maybe 50%. Sorry, guys. Let me just say, I was
Yeah.
watching. I think was it Tristan Tate, his brother, and he said something about, I think his daughter said not letting his daughter, learn what's the name, take self-defense classes, because it's important. It's more important to avoid being in certain places. So he's more pro self-awareness. But the way he said it was very, 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 very absolute, But I'm like, initially it made sense, but I'm like, actually you can't say teaching a lady self-defense, your kids doesn't make sense.
No, but we're guys, like, we know how we speak as men, like, bro, we're very
Exactly.
authoritative, like, and we might be mixing up that authoritativeness for absolute.
See,
And it's
Daniel,
for us
as
to
you
use
said,
our own.
see, Daniel, as you said, right? As you said,
Yeah.
the nigga is literally a public figure at the end of the day.
Yeah,
There's no, bro. Imagine if he sat down, right, and told you like 100% truth, or told you everything that made sense. You wouldn't know him, bro. If you go on YouTube, right, there's millions of channels that are making like sense, but you wouldn't know him. So I feel like the main thing is for people, as you said, people are stupid. And what I get from that is, how can you sit down, right, hear someone make sense for 2 hours, crack one joke, and that one joke is the message. You get it?
I'm telling you,
Like, bro, this shit is crazy, man. I swear. Bro, it makes no sense. And I feel like what I can really understand where people are coming from with the hate is when I watch him, right, I would literally sit down there and pick out everything that makes sense, and that's about it. From what you said, look at what you said about the whole self-defense thing. Me personally, right, I literally wouldn't even look at it that way. I'll only look at the thing that makes sense. What makes sense to me is, as a woman, you should not put yourself in certain environments that lead to danger, which, bro, that's the only thing that I can get from that. You understand?
Yeah, true.
But then again, Daniel, at the end of the day, right, if you don't put yourself in environments where there's danger, why would you need to protect yourself in the
To be
first
fair,
place?
to be fair,
Is what he's saying.
it's true. But I've seen. I know I saw a video. Was it last month? Last month, yeah, of a lady who actually she was used to be doing that though, but she was in the gym alone. She was alone in the gym.
I saw that.
I'm like, why are you in the gym alone in the first
Alone,
place,
yeah.
bro? Well, you thinking the gym is a safe place? At least she's working out. Maybe she's just coming from work.
Daniel, you know the thing. We have to be realistic in life. That's just the truth of it, right? As much as it sucks that there's men that will put a woman in danger, right?
Yeah.
You can sit there and blame men. Oh, why are we doing this, bro? You look at the truth. There's men that would do that, right? So
Yeah.
isn't it now up to you to protect yourself from these things?
Yeah.
Why are you not putting yourself in those scenarios, right? Are you hoping that when something bad happens to you, now say, why are they men? Bro, let's be real. Let's be real here, bro.
I think it's like walking into a lion's den and saying,
Exactly.
"Oh, why did lion bite me?"
Bite me, exactly, bro. Like, it sucks that there's men that will actually do those things. But that's just the reality of life. There will always be men that will do such things. So, bro, you might as well just avoid those things, man, honestly.
Yeah, but I think a negative thing about the whole Andrew Tate movement is this. I appreciate the fact that there's this whole men empowerment thing, encouraging men to focus on themselves and everything. But you still see this misogynistic, army being built. You have men who know more about like they've lost respect for women. They have this generalizing, this stereotype of women as to, this is, if I work hard, get money, go to the gym, then I can get a woman. So nobody's not is talking about personality, my character. How can I develop myself as a man? I've not really watched this. I mean,
And that's the thing. As you said, people are stupid, right? The people that will watch those videos. And I feel like he's also learning too from the things that I've seen, that his platform has power. That's just the truth of it. He's a human being. Bro, most of the content that he has out, from what I've seen, is content that has been there before he even got to the place that he is. Obviously, when you now have a bigger platform, you have to chill out. Because then there's weird people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I feel like anyone should listen to him and end up disrespecting women, bro. Because the person that you're watching is a gentleman, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've seen him speak about families and how important women are. So the person that is learning to disrespect women, why they not watch that one? Why they not learn from that one?
I think one thing is, TikTok, man. Mostly TikTok. They were just gonna catch one controversial clip and post it there, let it go viral. Yeah. But I mean, controversy always drags attention. So.
But then I think Jordan Peterson is the cleaner version. It's the perfect version of Andrew Tate. Yeah. Even with and I see some people, there's this, what's his name? I think might be wrong, but I think his name's like John Balzerian or something like that. I don't know. The way he puts masculinity, right, is so wrong to me. Like having 20 women, having $1 million. Like, bro, that is your life, right?
Let the gigolos be the gigolos.
Bro, no, I feel like if that's your life, then that's your life. I won't complain if I see a man chasing, wanting to have like 12 women, a mansion as life, but you can't now bring that down and say this is what masculinity is, because that is very wrong, and I feel like that message is harmful. If you look at what it is to be a man, as we've talked about, right? We've said you provide for your family. Loyalty, I feel like, is also a big part of being a man. I feel like if you want to be a polygamist, then yeah, you go ahead and do that. But the moment you have that commitment with a woman, then yeah, that's what it is. So provide, protect, love your partner and all of that. I feel like that is what it means to be masculine.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're looked at as the people that are meant to provide, it just shows like the way we are built as men. So I feel like that can all go down to what masculinity is. Not having flashy cars, having 12 women and all of that. I mean, if that's a fun lifestyle to you, then it is cool. Like, there's no issue with that, but that is not what masculinity is, for sure.
Real talk.
Yeah.
No. Nice one. So I think anyone has any final comments on this marriage problem?
Man, marry when you feel you're ready, man.
Actually, bro, I was gonna ask. We're talking about marriage, but what do we think marriage is?
Was everyone?
Yo, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Yo, Paul, can you hear us?
Was everybody?
Yo,
we're here.
what is this
Yeah,
guy?
man.
Can you hear us?
What's it? What's everyone's final opinion on marriage, man?
Lana, I was gonna ask what, like, we're talking about marriage, right? But what is marriage? What do you see marriage as?
Marriage is there. I'll say marriage is there. I mean, this is a quick definition from off my head. I mean, it's a lifelong commitment between two compatible persons. I mean, I'll say man and woman. You know, not being politically correct, but yeah.
What about you, Paul?
Marriage is what God intended to keep the human race going and ensuring His will be done on earth as He dictates in heaven. Yeah.
It's calm. Alright. You have any other thing to say?
Yeah, man. I'm waiting for your wedding day, man. Let me
Who,
come
me or Daniel?
best film.
Yo, that's
full
proud, yo.
Your bride's training.
Yeah.
That's what's ready.
Small.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Oh, you beat my ring girl,
That's gonna go bad.
my flower girl.
Yeah, what's my head, man? What's my head? No, for real, man. I pray you guys find your better halves, man.
Alright.
You too, man.
You stuff, man.
You too, man. Yeah.
Find your own
This street
soon.
skip, man.
Yeah.
This street skip, man.
Let's come on, pounded yam and a goosey soup, man.
Nah, but bro, that's the part 2 of this conversation, man. It's very serious.
Everyone, subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. Catch you guys in the next one.
No, man.
OG. Local, man.
Calling for mama.